All right, Coach. You guys allowed 2 runs in the first, but your bullpen comes in and gives you guys an opportunity to win the game. Just give an opening statement on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a tough one to lose. I mean, we pitched it pretty good. Pitched it pretty good today. We had some moments where we weren't. The innings they scored. We issued 2 free passes and we kicked one other. That was the 3 runs. I thought the guys pitched, for the most part, threw it pretty well. Sometimes you have a chance to overcome it, but we obviously weren't able to do that today. That's a good Houston club, and they pitched it, played it. Overall, just were a little bit better than us tonight by 1.
When Trey hit the homer to tie it up, what was your thinking in that situation?
Well, you hope that kind of breaks the ice on some stuff because they just had to walk right before, and that was a big swing by Trey. I mean, he's a critical part of obviously our order, and then. But it's still early. You don't know exactly how the game's going to go because especially midweek, it's an offensive night from a ballpark standpoint. All the elements were at least, but obviously from a 3-2 ball game and less than double-digit hits, combined between the teams, just it goes to show you how good the pitching was on both sides tonight.
Speaking of the pitching, Zane struggled a little bit, and Tyler comes in. You guys a bit of a boost on defense. What are your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I thought Tyler Stone was really good. That was good to see him. That's his first appearance. It certainly wasn't what we wanted it to do. We'd like to keep it, a little bit of a clean inning, but that was what was necessary. He gave us more than we were anticipating, from an inning standpoint. So that was really good to see. And we got to see some other guys kind of bounce back. A lot of the guys had bounced back and pitched on the weekend. I thought, basically everybody kind of threw the ball well. Davis did have the 2 walks, kind of got away from us, and then obviously we make a mistake after that. That they were able to score a run on it. So, but hey, that's going to happen sometimes. Hopefully, it's one of those deals where you're not having to play perfect, just to be able to get a win out.
Talk a lot about the weekday games and what they mean and what you can find. Think you found another arm in Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those things. We kind of predetermined that we were going to throw him today. We said we wanted to throw him early, and that was as good as he's thrown. I mean, we've seen him throw in that, so it was good to see him, really, The biggest thing I thought that was impressive for him, he got up and down 3 times, and I say that because he came in the first inning, he came out through the second, came out through the third. So to do that's a challenge for some pitchers, and so that's really encouraging to be able to see that. So maybe he can get more than the 2 1/3 that he got. Maybe he can get a full 3, and that's just kind of building as you go, and you start getting used to the adrenaline and the game speed, and kind of how to kind of feel it, how it feels kind of in that moment.
Tough break on the game-winning run, scores on a ball that, if he lets it go, it's probably a double play. And you can't teach that.
No, I mean, I think that's the one thing. I mean, it's not, to me, it's like we're looking at what happened before that, the 2 walks in the era. And, I mean, sometimes it depends on how you have to shift it. I mean, he could have called it, could have been, a 1, 2, 3 double play, so. Yeah, I think we can look at the tough breaks, but I think we got to look at how we got into those situations. Obviously, we issued too many free passes from that standpoint. We obviously, pitched really well in a lot, most of the time, but the free passes is what got us tonight, at least on the mound. And then offensively, we're learning some things. I mean, and I think it's really important for myself and our offense not to be stubborn. If we think this is what it's supposed to go, you got to give it some time to see if it works. And I'd kind of made the comment like Peyton Harden. I think he had 1 hit over the weekend, but he's a career over 300 hitter. You know what I mean? So you don't just flush all your hard work and everything down after 3 games. And but do we need to make some adjustments? Do we need to see some things? Yeah, we certainly need to do that.
What do you feel like that starts, Coach?
It starts with us. It starts with us communicating as coaches on kind of where we're at, and not having an emotional, kind of making emotional decisions and saying things, after you only get a handful of base runners. There's no sense in worried about that. So just kind of let the emotions calm down a little bit, and then try to look at it as clearly as you can, and then we'll just see how the adjustments made, and we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Speaking of getting back to work, with Alphonse coming up, for a very long weekend. Do you kind of feel like what we saw from the pitching staff today is what we can expect from them come this weekend?
Well, I think that's what we can do. I know that's what we can do. So we've proven that. And I think that part's important. I think we have to continue to work on our craft. I think we can know that we can be better in those situations, and if we continue to get better, I don't think we've arrived as a pitching staff. Just like I don't think the offense is what it's going to be. After 4 games, I think pitching wise, that's not something you just rest on after just 4 games.